On the Arctic's southern frontier lies a hostile wilderness on an epic scale. The Boreal forest, the largest forest on Earth. One immense habitat, home to some extraordinary animals. From the forest floor to the very tops of the trees, these unique creatures face a battle for survival. Against each other and the extreme conditions of the snow forest. Between the North Pole and the Arctic Circle, extreme cold and permanently frozen soil makes it impossible for any trees to grow. But 1,500 kilometers south, the first signs of life begin to appear. At first, they are few and far between, but soon, trees dominate the landscape. The Boreal forest is a virtually unbroken band of coniferous trees that wraps the globe. A single habitat covering almost 20 million square kilometers, and home to as many trees as the world's rainforests combined. Here, cold is king. Brutal winters persist for almost 6 months, with its coldest nights dropping to 50 degrees below. This frozen forest may be the largest on Earth, but in winter it can appear almost lifeless. The Boreal forest floor is hidden by snow for more than half the year. In the far north, it can reach 2 meters deep. Beneath the snow, fallen trees and branches create a maze of hidden tunnels. There is food down there all year round, but only for those who can reach it. A young pine marten. Her slender body shape is ideal for searching the tunnels, but it also means that she loses heat quickly. So she keeps moving, exploring every corner of our labyrinthine world. Nothing here, but a faint sound beneath the snow could be her salvation. A mouse. But it's hard to catch what you can't see. She listens carefully to pinpoint her target. Gotcha. But it's only the first mouse of the day. She needs to eat at least 3 if she's to keep herself from freezing to death. But it is not only animals that have been forced to adapt to survive this far north. During winter, with the thin soil still frozen, the trees of the snow forest must survive with very little water. Most of its yearly supply is locked away as snow. The tree's conical shape allows them to withstand this heavy snow cover that can build to many tons on a single tree. But in summer, this landscape changes dramatically. And it's only once spring has transformed the forest that the Boreal's biggest predators make an appearance. Most of the time, they lurk in the shadows. The only chance of catching a glimpse of their secret lives is when they venture out in the clearings. A male brown bear. He's in his prime. And on the lookout. But not for food. He's searching for a mate. He appears to have picked up a distant scent. It could be a female. And he's got a special tool for long-distance romance. Scent marking. He's putting down his dating profile. Male. Single. Looking for love. So he also rubs his paws on the sodden ground, activating scent glands between his toes, in the hope that a potential mate will recognize him. And he's in luck today. A female bear. She's busy with a reindeer kill. He wastes no time and makes his move. But he moves too fast and scares her off. At just 3 years old, this young female is not quite ready to reproduce. As a cub, she was taught to stay away from big males. For the male, this is not the end of the world. At least he has a free meal to console himself. A bear of his size could easily hoover up this carcass in one sitting. But it's no way to impress a lady. With only food on his mind, she can safely leave. The male might have a better chance of seducing her in a few months. But he'll need to work on his pickup technique for any hope of success. Among the branches of America's most northerly forests, a truly unexpected creature revealed itself. This is a rufous hummingbird. For the first time in her life, she has traveled more than 6,000 kilometers to make it here, to the Boreal forest of Alaska. So what brings such a tiny visitor all the way from Mexico to these unforgiving lands? It comes down to competition, or lack of it. Here in Alaska, there are no other birds her size. So the rufous hummingbirds have worked out that the journey is worth it. She may appear graceful, but it takes a unique physiology to cope with life as a hummingbird. She lives life in the fast lane. Her heart beats at 1,000 times a minute, and her wings at 60 beats a second. She consumes so much energy that she is constantly on the brink of starvation. Unfortunately, it's only spring, and the flowers of the Alaskan Boreal forests are few and far between. She must find another food source, and fast. Luckily for her, this tapping signals a potential meal. This red-breasted sapsucker is drilling into the tree to make the syrupy sap come out. It could be just the ticket. About the size of a little finger and the weight of a coin, she can't compete with other species. Luckily, she's got superior agility and stealth on her side. With her small size, she can sneak through undetected and maneuver to her prize. Perfect timing. The sugary sap is starting to flow. Even here, she is a master of speed. Her super-fast tongue grasps the sap 13 times each second. The sap from within the trunks provides a rich feast. But it is beneath the tall pines, down on the forest floor of the Boreal forest, that the best opportunities can be found. A young brown bear prowling his territory. But he's not alone. He's being followed by an equally notorious hunter. A pack of wolves could easily kill a small bear. But this female is on her own, and she's got a bad limp. There is no way to know how she got injured, but she's likely to have been rejected from her pack. On her own, her chances of surviving are slim. Bears and wolves usually are bitter rivals. But unable to hunt for herself, she's decided to follow the bear. He could lead her to food. She needs to keep a low profile, but she can only keep it up for so long. They are equally unsure of each other. And it's not clear how the bear could benefit from this unique relationship. But the odd couple seems to be working together. Incredibly, he has brought her towards a carcass. Bears have a sense of smell 7,000 times better than humans. And he has led the wolf here from over a kilometer away. This feast is just the opportunity that the wolf has been waiting for. But the bear dines first on the carcass. At this time of year, he needs to pile on the pounds to survive the bitter winter. So she must wait her turn. Easy does it. She is persistent. And today, very lucky. Probably her first meal for days. Sharing the carcass may not seem like a big deal, but this bear has probably saved the wolf's life. Who would have thought that bears and wolves could coexist? The bear will hopefully tolerate her presence until she can hunt again. But for now, her ingenuity and resilience have helped this wolf survive. Once they have had their fill, both these elusive predators would slip back into the forest. Until hunger takes hold once more. The planet's most northerly forest is home to a giant. Most of the time, it is in hiding. But here and there, it leaves a trail of evidence. Although this looks like a pile of pine needles, it is actually a carefully designed home, built by a team of master architects. Wood ants. Found in all of the Arctic's pine forests, up to 500,000 individuals live in this single-meter-high construction. All of these workers are part of the same family. They touch each other with their antennae to confirm they are both part of the same colony. Everything here is achieved by teamwork. Working together, they can control the temperature of the nest at any given moment. The pine needles that are no use to almost any other boreal forest animal are the ideal construction material for the ants. Each pine needle is considerately placed for maximal interception of sun rays, raising the temperature of the nest higher than its surroundings. The nest itself is constructed at a south-facing angle to maximize its exposure to the sun. And the ants also harvest the sunlight themselves. They use their bodies as solar panels. And once warm, enter the nest to transfer the warmth inside. If it gets too hot, the workers open the tunnel entrances to keep the internal temperature at a steady 30 degrees. That is the perfect temperature for incubating and raising their next generation of wood ants. By now, in the summer, the larvae living deep in the mounts are getting bigger and hungrier. The workers need to find something more substantial to sustain them. Meat. Ants are the most prolific carnivores in the forest. A tiny creature, but key to the balance of the entire food chain. By working as a team, they can catch prey many times their size. Any unfortunate insect in their path is quickly subdued, with each worker tackling a different part of the body. Each ant can carry 100 times its own weight, the human equivalent of being able to lift a bus. The ingenious wood ants make use of every element of the trees. They even collect the dried resin, which they bring back to the nest. Combined with their own body's formic acid, the resin has powerful antibacterial effects, helping these incredible creatures fight fungal infections within the nest. By producing their own medicine, hunting in packs, and building complex homes with central heating, wood ants live in surprisingly advanced and organized societies. The trees of the Boreal forest can reach a height of 30 meters. Despite the height, many creatures make their home in the canopy. It provides a safe haven for some silent killers. This abandoned goshawk nest has been repurposed. By great gray owls who never build nests themselves. The male is bringing plenty of food to the female. Who's brooding their rather scruffy young. She tears the meat into big chunks that the 2-week-old owlets can swallow whole. The young birds can consume up to 7 voles every day. The male has no time to rest. Over the course of the summer, the male great gray owl has to provide for his whole family, catching over 1,000 prey. And so, the hungry owlets keep their parents working around the clock. Despite living high in the trees, the owlets can't yet fly, so are exposed to aerial predators. Meanwhile, it's never too early to start practicing. A mere 28 days after hatching, the chicks have turned into football-sized balls of fluff and are almost ready to leave the nest. But it is a dangerous world out there. They still need their parents for both protection and food. And these days, their meals don't last very long. The chicks will remain in the trees for just 2 more weeks until they are finally able to fly. The Boreal forest wraps the planet's northern hemisphere, stretching as far north as the Arctic Circle. Despite the sheer amount of trees that make up the forest, the harsh conditions mean much of the region lacks diversity. Most trees are conifers, specially adapted to the cold conditions of this punishing environment. Survival here is so difficult that the trees protect their precious leaves by filling them with resin. The needles contain very little sap, which prevents them from freezing. Their dark color and triangle shapes help them catch and absorb as much of the sun's light as possible. To preserve their energy, the trees don't shed their needles annually. They are evergreen. But there are downsides to the needles. The adaptations to prevent the trees losing water also make the needles very difficult to digest. With few creatures able to eat conifer needles, animals in the Boreal forest are scarce. Fallen pine needles also make the earth very acidic, making it tough even for plants to survive. June in the Boreal forest of northern Finland. During these short summer months, precipitation now falls as rain. It all starts with a gentle pitter-patter that soaks the forest floor and revives the thirsty trees. It soon becomes torrential. Sometimes the rain seems to arrive all at once. Eventually, the trees and the earth can't soak up anymore. And the excess water swells the thousands of lakes. Which creates a unique habitat for the species that make their home here. Including a very unusual predator. Lurking on the edge of this lake, it's here in huge numbers, ready to ambush its unsuspecting prey. A ferocious, insectivorous beast. The sundew. This crimson carnivore is named after its glistening tendrils. The sprawling arms are covered in what could be mistaken for droplets of dew. These sparkling droplets carry a fatal attraction for small insects. An enticing sugary secretion is exuded to trick the lake's mosquitoes into landing here. The sundew's tendrils are a living flypaper. The dewdrops are made up of a powerful adhesive, and on contact, any insect becomes quickly ensnared. Struggling only makes it worse. Triggered by the vibration of the prey's attempts to break free, the neighboring tendrils bend towards the victim, enclosing it in a sticky prison. Slowly, the whole leaf curls around its victim. Smothering the unfortunate insect until it dies, sealing it to its gruesome fate. Digestive juices set to work, dissolving soft parts of the mosquito's body. Only the indigestible tough exoskeleton is left, a grim warning to any passing insects. But this bloodthirsty appetite does not supply the plant with energy. It's nitrogen that it is after, which is really lacking in these acidic soils. Its prey digested, the leaf unfurls, ready for its next victim. But there are more surprises on the edges of this lake. A living legend. The fire salamander. She's emerging from hibernation after 5 long months. She's been waiting out the cold inside a large rotten log. Her energy levels are low, making her movements slow. Right now, she's exposed to any number of predators. But she has a trick up her sleeve. Fire salamanders secrete a toxic poison through their skin, indicated by their bright yellow patches. Not only does this make her unappetizing for any would-be predators, it's also thought that these toxins make her skin partially flame-resistant. This natural ingenuity allows the fire salamander a brief window to escape forest fires by burrowing underground. Hopefully, this female will never have to use her powers of defense. In the spring, she needs to replenish depleted energy stores. Fire salamanders are carnivores, hunting protein-rich worms, insects, and slugs. They have good eyesight and can focus on their prey from a distance. If that fails, they rely on an excellent sense of smell. The forest floor can be rewarding if you know where to look. Earthworms have existed in Europe for over 600 million years. They're living filter systems, processing decomposing plants and leaf litter, and replenishing the soil with rich nutrients as a form of compost. They're vital for the health of the forest floor. And unfortunately for the earthworm, they're the staple diet for fire salamanders. When it comes down to the catch, she has an inbuilt lasso. She waits for the perfect moment. A sticky tongue shoots out faster than a human eye can blink, sealing the worm's fate. She could eat up to 5 worms a day. Midsummer in the northern reaches of Europe's Boreal forest. Many predators prefer to hunt at night. This wolverine is no different. But at this time of year near the Arctic Circle, the sun never sets. She has no choice but to scour the forest floor under the glare of this midnight sun. She is used to traveling at pace, and using her long legs to gallop, she will easily cover up to 25 kilometers each night. In old tales, wolverines were described as a cross between a bear and a wolf, but she is actually a giant weasel. Known for their power and aggression, wolverines can bring down prey much bigger than themselves. But she is predominantly a scavenger. She's uncovered the remains of what could be a bear kill. She checks the coast is clear and then comes in for a closer look. The remains of a reindeer carcass. She uses her powerful jaws to consume everything, from fur to bone and even teeth. But for now, it's best she leaves with a few scraps before the bear comes back to its kill. Leaving no trace of her presence and disappearing back into the trees. As the sun sets on the boreal summer, the forests now begin their rapid transformation towards winter. But despite the cold settling in, even this far north, the climate is changing. For thousands of years, the Boreal forest has been locked in a battle with the Arctic's brutal climate. During the Ice Age, growing glaciers have crept south, forcing the trees to retreat. Now that the Earth is warming, the Boreal forest is slowly retracing its steps, encroaching on the tundra. But it is also a buffer against climate change. The trees store large amounts of carbon and provide a refuge for wildlife as they adapt to their changing habitat. From the forest floor to the tops of the trees, the lives of those brave enough to survive the Boreal forest are governed by the seasons. With a short summer of plenty, and a long, tough, and bitterly cold winter to endure. It's the tree's ability to survive these brutal changes that has enabled them to cover such vast areas of the Earth, and made the Boreal forest the greatest forest of all.